So on tonight's episode, we have a special guest by the name of Ashley with a Fiesta ST. Welcome, Ash.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for actually availing yourself. So a Ford, right?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people that like Fords. We were talking about like our parents, and my dad liked the Ford, and many parents like Fords.
Definitely.
But I just want to know why specifically a Fiesta and not a Focus, because obviously the Focus is a bigger engine, bigger car. What was the reason?
Sure. It goes back to there was a few cars that was on the list for me to actually look at. I was in a unfortunate incident with my previous vehicle and was written off, and took some time to obviously replace the vehicle, and I was very picky. I love Ford generally speaking. Family loves Ford. That's how we were brought up. Dad owned Fords all the years, and specifically the Fiesta for me, it was interesting. It was a good-looking car, punchy little engine for 1600. So that was definitely something that I was looking for. Weight. It had all the attributes I was looking for in a car.
So look, for a 1.6, we were talking earlier on. We were just comparing cars.
Yeah.
When I think I was KO3 at the time, but I was making like 180 kilowatts out of my car. And a ST was just a downpipe, a Fiesta. I couldn't get away from it.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're quick. They're very quick cars. They're not slow at all.
No, not at all.
They are no slouch. They definitely got enough power. They're nippy, they're small.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you feel about it, but I think a Fiesta actually looks much nicer than a Focus.
Better spec, better looked out. It's more modern, so you've got the comfortability of the modern look as well. As you were talking about the power figures, the Newton meters for a small little 1600, it's pretty torquey. So off the line, it's quick. It's
so
quick.
Talking about power, have you actually done a power?
I have.
Run?
Yeah, I have with Hurricane Racing. That's who obviously tunes the car. They've done some fab work with regards to the exhaust and downpipe, etc.
Okay, cool.
174 kilowatts, obviously on the dyno, and 394 newtons.
That's good.
On pump, so not too bad. That's considering it's a stage 2. That's more or less where these Fiestas kind of put the power.
So you said 394.
394,
meters, which is a lot of power it's actually a lot of torque for a 1.6.
Actually, not 394. I think it was 364. I must just double check.
Okay, but
so
it's
I could
around
be
there.
wrong.
But even 360.
Yeah.
Between 360
60,
and 380 for a 1.6, it is a lot of torque.
No, definitely is.
Because at the end of the day, I don't think a lot of people actually know this. I don't think people actually understand that the kilowatt figures is kilowatts, right?
Of course.
But it's a calculated figure.
Yes.
Your torque is actually more important, because what they do is they take the torque figure and it's actually calculated to kilowatts. That is where it's actually a calculation.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the torque is very impressive.
Yeah.
So what's actually done to the vehicle? Because to make a type of power, that's not stock power.
No,
so
definitely.
I think they come out with 132 or 141.
They come out with around 137.
Yeah, 130.
With overboost, obviously. The ST200 has come out with a little bit more power. Slightly configured the motor, shorter ratios or better ratios on the box. But in terms of engine-wise, it's still stock. In terms of internals, it's got a relatively few mods done to it. Engine-wise, we've got, let's start off with the exhaust rather. We've got a 76 mil exhaust downpipe into a 63 with one back box at the back, 63 tips, twin tips. We've got Sinister Performance intake, PMC filter, FS Works short shifter, which is on 25% shorter ratio on the gears. We've got Power Flex mounts all around, so that's all motor mounts. Replace the rear motor mount. We've got mount inserts on both of the top mounts. We've got, I'm trying to think of all the engine mods.
I know there's a list.
There's a list.
There's a big list.
There's a list.
A long list, because you told me early on off air that there's
quite a bit.
There's
quite a bit. Besides the blow valve from Turbo Smart Compact Shorty, we've got a gooseneck from Puma Speed as well. One stage called the plugs on the car from NGK Iridiums. Not necessarily needed for the boost that the car is making out, but rather one up than one down. So that's basically in terms of the engine mods. Bigger intercooler, obviously. these cars do suffer from heat soak. So
Okay.
you know, if you're pushing out more power, you need
Yeah, obviously.
breathing
you
mods.
need some cooler air.
So custom boost pipes as well, stainless steel all the way through. So yeah, it's some work.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a long list because I mean we spoke off air and I was like, okay, cool. And then I looked at the car myself and I'm like looking at things and I'm asking, okay, cool, what's this? Why is this here? Like there's something there that I also asked about and you said to me, no, that's there because of a boost.
Yes, that's the Semposa block.
So it's like all these things which, like you also said to me, there's a lot of things that people maybe don't know about these cars.
Definitely.
And like I mean, I'm looking at the things and I expected the normal things. I expected to see the normal things that I've seen on the ST.
Yeah.
But then I'm looking at things and I'm thinking, okay, there's not all the normal stuff that I'm used to seeing. Obviously, there's some research that went into this.
Definitely.
It's not just putting on this and putting on that.
Definitely.
Then I see that you don't have seats at the back. So why did you go for that type of?
You know, funny story, when I purchased the car, my mom always said, you know, I had a 2-door Mini before and I purchased the car and she was like, my boy, why are you coming home with another 2-door car? And I mean, you know, I don't have any passengers, I don't have any kids, so while I'm still young, the 2-door car was for me. And the rear seats is going to be, which I removed, is obviously for some future plans on the car. Surprisingly enough, those seats at the back are pretty heavy, so some would say maybe weight reduction, but not actually really. I'm looking at installing a half cage at the back, more for aesthetics.
I was going to ask, I'm probably going to put a half cage in.
Half cage at the back, just for aesthetics, not really functional, if I could say. Just to, you know, touch on the look of the car, you know, just to make it different. I mean, I've gone a very different route to most of the ST guys and how some of the Fiestas are done. Judging by my wheels, you can probably see it's, you know, it's not the obvious choice.
It's not the usual look.
Yeah, not the usual.
It's completely different to what we used to see.
Of course.
The guys normally keep the stock wheels on.
Yes.
The guys normally keep, you know, certain things there. So they put a nice drop on it.
Yeah.
They'll put the lip on and they'll do this, the small things.
Course.
But I can see you've gone a bit different on yours.
Yeah.
Also, I see, we were actually talking about the seats. And I see you put like these covers on.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I see you got like these, and then you actually realized there was heaters in it. So I didn't. At least have a bit of heated seats.
I didn't. Yeah, I realized that afterwards.
Yeah, that you actually have heated seats now as well, which is also something that's been added.
Yes, definitely.
And then also with the mud flaps that you've added on there, it actually gives it a bit of a rally look.
Exactly.
Is that the look you were going for?
I was definitely going more of the Eurospec look. You know what the guys are doing out in the UK. Obviously, most of the parts or things that we'd like to do on the Fiestas all come from that side, and you know, you kind of driven to try and get the car to look that type of spec. So it was definitely for the looks. It is custom fitted that I did myself as well. Most of the work on the car I do myself, and that was the look. It was a little stealthy race look, you know, just not too outlandish or out there. Definitely subtle.
But I see like there's a couple of other things also, like, so those that don't know, like he's got different headlights on there. They don't look like they're completely different, but when you actually go close up to it, you'll actually see that there's a couple of changes in the lights. So
of course.
I know you got some lights from overseas.
Yes, that's from Autobeam. It's got a full high performance light upgrade. So that's from your main beams, high beam spots, your indicators, on your caps. It's all replacements. Everything's replacements. So full high performance kit. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I saw, because when you close the car, I seen the indicator light running. Like the guys do with the GTIs. You know, they have that thing running. That's when I realized something was very different, because you can't just program it on this car like you can program on the GTIs and stuff like that. You can just change on the ECU, just change a couple of things and it starts doing something different. Is there anything else that you have planned for this vehicle besides the back with the half cage?
Yeah. Look, there was some short-term goals for the car. Was obviously to get more power out of the car. I've obviously been chatting with the Hurricane, which are my tuners as well. And we were looking at obviously doing a water meth kit, either from Snow Performance or Cool Boost. Maybe a hybrid turbo setup, big injectors. But yeah, I think I'm keeping that on the wraps for now. Like we spoke earlier on, there's other plans in the loop that I'll be probably funneling funds to.
Yes.
So for now, for reliability, the way the car is, I'm pretty happy with what I've got. It's reliable, good to go. So. Yeah.
And then also just in terms of, you said now that you got something else.
Yeah.
So just quickly, What else do you have in the pipeline? Because this is not the only car that you're busy. This car kind of is going to take a bit of a back seat
definitely
for what we was discussing
Yes.
off air. So
Yes.
there's something else in the pipeline.
Yes.
What else do you have in the pipeline?
I've got a motor ready for the car. It's a 1.8 PBT a Mazda motor. Came out of the 323 Rally. It's JDM spec, fully imported from overseas. I've got the intake. I've got the intercooler. I've got rims for the Watanabe rims. So I'm looking at getting a champ bucky. And I think I'll put that motor in. There's something more of a JDM style look.
Yes.
Something different. Guys either put the 4AGE motor twin cam in the Nissans.
Or the guys put VVL.
Or the VVLs, K swapped, the usual.
Stuff, yeah,
so, or the EGI, the FE3, they like doing that, So I'm going a little bit different. Unfortunately, the motor never came with the gearbox, which was a 4-wheel drive box on that motor. So I wanted to put it in my Rustler at home, but I feel like it deserves a rear-wheel drive.
Yes,
so
like because you could have gone a 4-wheel drive setup.
I could have.
But you kind of want something that you can have fun with.
Of course.
That there's anything wrong with 4-wheel drive, but it just doesn't give you that same fun that you can
Definitely.
do because a rear-wheel drive, when you throw the
you want your
around,
you want it to stick up.
It's amazing because you just you start sliding it, and that's what people want rear-wheel drives for.
Generally,
especially when it's your toy.
Yeah, definitely, it's gonna be my toy. So it's a bit of a project that's coming on. So future plans, definitely. That's what we're looking at.
That's cool. So hopefully, if that gets done, and hopefully we can have him on with that car actually as well, because that will be interesting. Besides this car changing, because I think this car, like you said, it's going to take a backseat for now.
Yeah.
So eventually once his car's done, hopefully we can get that also on. Okay, so thanks so much for availing yourself.
No, thanks for having me. Definitely.
I know everyone's lives are busy at the moment, and it's in the evening.
Yeah.
So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Very important to subscribe. Also, don't forget, down below you can comment. Please let us know what you thought about the interview. Please let us know what you thought about the cinematics, everything. The more feedback you give us, the better we can become at this. So yes, please be very honest and tell us how you feel. So this is Havoc TV. Completely disruptive.